Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to InCharacter. I'm Show60. You know, for the past 26 years now, video games have played a huge influence in my life. To think that something like this has really shaped my existence for so long. And to be flat out honest, I'm very glad that it did. I can recall the instance where, when I was roughly around 4 or 5 years old, my mom gave me Super Mario Brothers, which was basically bundled with the whole Nintendo Entertainment System and whatnot. But from then on, I began drawing. I began drawing a lot. Not only that, one thing led to another 5 years later. And then from then on, it has been cemented into my existence. Yep, gaming has become my entire life. For the most part, at least. Now, all things considered, if Super Mario Brothers has played a huge role in my life as a gamer, as an artist, and as a flat-out otaku nerd, then what role has Viewtiful Joe played in my existence? Well, we're about to find out.
The shadow moved ominously across the land, dyeing the sky with blood and pounding the earth. Those who still have faith in justice and honor, valor and goodness call out his name. The ultimate superhero, the only one who can save the world from extinction. If he can't do it, no one can.
Who? Me? Viewtiful Joe.
In 2003, Capcom Studio 4 releases Viewtiful Joe to the public, revitalizing the side-scrolling beat-em-up genre. With the game having been directed by Devil May Cry director Hideki Kamiya and produced by Turnabout Trial developer Atsushi Inaba, the game sets a new template for stylish action much like its previously mentioned Devil May Cry. As the development crew grew in numbers, the game became a test of the development skills on behalf of the newcomers at that time. As such, the game was a success. 2 auxiliary games, appearances in 2 fighting game franchises, a spot in a cell phone game, an anime adaptation, and a spot in an Archie crossover comic. Yeah, and I'm seriously waiting on a Viewtiful Joe 3. Okay, I know that Capcom has explicitly said that they're not working on a 3, but as far as I'm concerned, I think they're bullshitting. So, yeah, Hideki Kamiya, Inaba-san, you and Capcom need to do something about that. Make another Viewtiful Joe 3 already! Pretty please? Now, to talk about Viewtiful Joe as a character would mean to talk about the entire story of Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2. Now, as we know in InCharacter, all of our background information involving the character and of his or herself would basically mean covering the original plotline of where he or she came from. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, and since I'm summarizing a vast majority of the storyline in which Viewtiful Joe is coming from, expect spoilers. Lots and lots of spoilers. Now, for those of you who haven't played Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2, I suggest you do not go on beyond this point. Find yourself a GameCube or at least a Nintendo Wii and get yourself a copy of Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure they're on eBay. And make sure you play and beat those games. Then you can come back to this episode. Now, for those of you who already played the games that I've just talked about, or probably don't care about playing Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2 and rather just hear it secondhand, then congratulations. get yourself some popcorn, sit back, relax, and hopefully you won't get put to sleep. Meet Joe Black. No, not the Grim Reaper from that Brad Pitt movie. This Joe Black. He and his sexy girlfriend, Sylvia. Now, Hanson, stop looking at me like that. She's of legal age now. Okay. They go out on a date to the movies only to see Joe's favorite hero, Captain Aw, for fuck's sake, that guy is from the old arcade game Battle Circuit, you dumbass. Okay. They go to see Captain Blue, much to Sylvia's aggravation. As Blue is getting his old ass handed to him, the mysterious giant takes Sylvia away. Six Majin. Yeah. I know. Six Majin sounds like sex machine, but please, just roll with it. It's part of the charm of the game. Takes Joe to the aptly named Movie Land. Captain Blue trains Joe in combat and later gives him the powers needed to take back his woman.
You want some? We'll come and get it.
He finds out that the name of his enemies responsible for Sylvia's kidnapping are called Jado, and their plan is, yep, you guessed it, take over the world. No. If you think I'm doing that joke, no. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's basically unoriginal at this point. That joke came from one of the best internet critics of all time, albeit very funny. I mean, hell, he's been in Momocon on multiple occasions. But seriously, I am not taking a joke from the nostalgia.
Of course!
Fuck me sideways. As Joe fights his enemies, he finds out that their leader is Captain Blue himself. That, and he is also Sylvia's father. Yeah, let's just hope this particular trope doesn't repeat itself in the sequel. Right? Joe later forgives him and saves Sylvia, only to be met with a new enemy called Ghetto. This time, Sylvia goes from damsel in distress to secondary heroine faster than you could say instant replay. This time, the heroic couple look for a series of rainbow-colored Oscars, and are aided by Joe's dad, Jet. Oh, well, how about that? Joe's family is starting to make an appearance, particularly his dad. I mean, let's hope he stays good, right? I mean, it's not like they're gonna repeat this again and again and again like they did in the first game. After defeating Ghetto's leader, the Black Emperor, said villain reveals himself to be Joe. The fight ends with a real-world showdown at the Viewtiful Awards. There, Blue is free, Jet is forgiven by his son, friends reunite, and the two families fly off to reveal the secrets of the Black film. Despite the crazy and tough nature of his quest to bring peace between the two worlds, Joe keeps a positive attitude. He's very passionate about his love for heroes and all things good. He never gives up and has compassion towards even his enemies. But Joe can be a tad immature and naive at some points. He can also get in over his head when dealt with heavy challenges. And he's not too bright sometimes. Despite being in a relationship with his girlfriend Sylvia, it's kind of implied that he has been dating other girls behind her back. Ooh, snitched out by your own late mother. Sucks to be you, Joe. Really does. Well, at least I should teach you a lesson on loyalty. Overall, he is a good-natured, wisecracking superhero. Joe behind the mask might be one hell of a goofball, but he is no pushover. On his own, he can take down a gang of foot soldiers with minimal effort. But the real meat of his abilities comes from this. Henshin a go-go, baby! While donning the red spandex and the pink cape, like a man, Joe becomes a powerful force of heroism and style. The red-hot Viewtiful Joe has a bevy of powerful and albeit unusual skills in weaponry. These include the Boomerang, a powerful helmet crest that can pierce through tough oppositions at high speeds, Shocking Pink, a simple bomb on the surface, but combined with an unworldly power can decimate anything that it comes in contact with. And the variable 6-Majin, a giant robot Joe owns bearing the same abilities as its pilot. It also has the ability to transform into a super cannon, go-kart, fighter jet, and so on.
Now let's see your Megazord do that.
Joe is not limited to just those weapons. He comes head to toe with powerful techniques, such as the groovy uppercut, a 2-hit aerial attack that sets his enemies ablaze, the Yama Arashi, a powerful judo throw, the Air Joe, which is a barrage of powerful mid-air punches and kicks, and the iconic super blazing Red Hot kick. Every hero has a set of trademark powers and skills most unique to them, and Joe is no exception to that notion. The biggest attributes come from the power of VFX. VFX is a series of extraordinary powers based off of elaborate camera tricks most commonly found in cinema and theater. Viewtiful Joe has 3 of them. The first VFX technique is slow. This allows Joe to weigh down his environment to near crawl. Not only does it simply slow down time, but also boosts his attack power and environmental effects. Next is zoom in. This allows him to home in on surrounding enemies. Also, last-minute dodging of enemy attack while using this power will allow Joe to perform the ukemi, a recovery jump, and Viewtiful Forever, a skill that can hurt his foes just by a mere pose.
See, there's a reason why they say don't try this at home. Because I tried a similar attack once, and I got kicked in the balls and they left with my money.
Lastly is Mach Speed. This allows Joe to go past the speed of sound. On top of that, it engulfs him into a blazing hellfire that incinerates nearby enemies. He can also grab faraway items while using this effect. These skills not only have great battle applications, but exceptional environmental advantages.
These VFX powers can turn an otherwise boring environment to a very dynamic and interesting set piece. But, like all things incredibly powerful and useful, they got a lot of weaknesses. And it comes with the territory too.
Joe's skills and VFX powers are at best finite. He's almost godlike in Moving Land, but if he relies on his VFX abilities for long periods of time, he will immediately expend his powers and revert to normal. In the case of Viewtiful Joe 2, his powers are far more difficult to manage in the real world. To put it plainly, a passionate audience of people are needed for him to utilize his powers. In the game Viewtiful Joe Scratch, for example, Silvio uses a V-cam to help Joe regain his powers, much less transform. The Sega and Capcom comic also assesses this fact as well. The lack of a viewing audience, much less a camera, is his Achilles heel and affirms Joe's already boosted ego.
From what I heard, is very inflated, which is kind of sad.
Joe is the go-to guy when it comes to courage under fire. He has defeated 2 powerful evil organizations back-to-back without a moment's rest, both alone and with help. Fought and defeated the deadly Blade Master Alistair not once, but twice.
Adding to those 2 victories, he was more than capable of forgiving their leaders, one being Captain Blue and the other being his own father, which really says a lot about Joe's character. Sure, he might have a very huge ego, and he might end up cheating on his girlfriend and stuff on occasion, but deep down Joe is an incredible character. Now, this brings me up to one particular random thing I want to say, is that the original name that Capcom was going to go for Viewtiful Joe was Red Hot Man, or something like that, but due to copyright problems involving a particular American rock star, they decided to go with Viewtiful Joe. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but the reason why I want to talk about Viewtiful Joe is because he did leave something incredibly impressive. Well, for me, of course. See, Viewtiful Joe is the very reason why I've gotten into tokusatsu. And if episode 2 of InCharacter wasn't an indicator, then it's clear that I'm a huge fan of the thing thereof. put it plainly, had it not been for Viewtiful Joe, I wouldn't have gotten back into Power Rangers, much less Super Sentai or Kamen Rider. Joe ultimately is the reason why I go to conventions and buy things straight out of Japan Hero Collectibles. Like the Shoto phone here. And the Zero Changer, which is this big Rubik's Cube / phone / transformer. I really do miss my GameCube and Nintendo Wii. Mainly due to the fact that, due to particular reasons I don't want to go into discussion about, had it not been for said situations, I probably would have kept them for a long time. Hell, I would have done Let's Plays of Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2 if I was ever so inclined. I guess it's just an old memory now. But then again, it might not be. If things get better, then yeah. The very concept of Viewtiful Joe is also the reason why we have his spiritual successor, the Wonderful 101. In fact, those guys at what's now Platinum Games created a character which is basically Viewtiful Joe in a different shade of tokusatsu. And thus we enter the character of Poseman. Poseman is basically Viewtiful Joe with the powers of Wonder Red. He has a special Ukimi attack known as Poseman Forever, I believe. That's what it's called, yeah. And you're not gonna believe the background story. But yeah, Poseman Forever is basically Viewtiful Forever. Only with his face painted all over it. His backstory is almost similar to that of Kamen Rider Black as well. Which comes to no surprise because Atsushi Inoda, the guy responsible for producing both that series and Viewtiful Joe, is a huge fan of superheroes, especially toku heroes. And it's all thanks to him, I know what the word henshin means. Well, that's it for today's episode of InCharacter. Now, what character do you want me to talk about? Well, drop a comment, or even email me, or go to my social media outlets, and tell me what character you want me to talk about. Like, comment, and subscribe, and catch me on Twitter, Snapchat, and even Facebook. That's the end of InCharacter today. This is Shoto60 signing out. Of course, if you don't have a character that you want me to talk about, I could bring in some characters that I would definitely enjoy mentioning in conversation. Well, that's the end of this episode. Catch you guys later. Ja ne!